What's up, Celtics Nation? It's me, the real Daryl, doing another video. So I'm here today. I want to talk about the Boston Celtics Summer League Team. The run just ended this past weekend here in Las Vegas, Nevada. The Celtics had a great run, went 4-1. Unfortunately, they did not get an opportunity to play for the Summer League Championship. Really don't care because the Celtics don't hang that nonsense up in the arena. We only care about championship banners anyway. Just want to talk about some things that I saw and give you my thoughts and opinions, including some talking points. First player I want to talk about is Charles Bassey, free agent center from the San Antonio Spurs. Not much respected him because he was a last-second signing. And what happened, of course, during this run is that he turned a lot of heads. Had a lot of Celtics fans say, hey, we got to bring this guy in before somebody else does because, he was averaging a double-double. He was protecting the basket, dunking on people, great hands, showing great touch around the basket. And, what happened, of course, is after game 3, he left the Celtics Summer League team, as reported. We don't know why, but there's rumors out there. Again, these are just rumors. Is that he may have been promised a training camp invite from another team or possibly a two-way contract. As I said before, this is just rumors, but let's hope that's not true, and let's hope that the Boston Celtics bring this young man back for a training camp invite or a two-way contract. Because right now, our center position right now consists of Neemias Queta, Luis Garza, and Xavier Tillman. Say that with me again. Neemias Queta, Luis Garza, and Xavier Tillman. Come on, that tells you right there. So if Bassey is able to get a training camp invite with the Boston Celtics, he definitely will add some much-needed experience, quality minutes, and somebody that knows how to play during the course of the NBA season. So it's a wait and see on that one right there, Celtics Nation. Next player I want to talk about is Jordan Walsh, young man drafted out of Arkansas in the second round a couple of years ago. The rep on him was great defender, but definitely is can he shoot in the NBA. So my thoughts of Jordan Walsh's game is, hey, the game's too thick, too fast, not really pressed. Just really didn't show too much. So going to the season, I felt like with the players that Boston got rid of through trade or free agency because of the second apron, that this is Jordan Walsh's chance to try and compete for major minutes off the NBA bench. And going to the Summer League, of course, he played great. His shot looks confident. He wasn't hesitating. Defense was always on point. Where his rotate, on ball defense, stuff like that. And the biggest thing I like was his court awareness, where when he would get the ball, he would go to the hole. He would never get caught in between or too far under the basket. He would know when to kick it out, and then the ball would swing to a much better shot, or the ball would come back to him, and he would get a wide open shot. So the only thing I will say about Jordan Walsh is that the only negative for him is when he had the incident with that Miami player, pushed him in front of the new ownership group and Brad Stevens. Wasn't a good look. He owned up to it and had a great game after that and against the Lakers. But going forward for Jordan Walsh is you have to have awareness. You have to use this right here because you're going to be a major contributor off the bench for the Celtics or any other team, or if you're going to be a starter, people counting on you. And those type of things right there can swing the momentum, especially, let's say, if it's a playoff game or, let's say, playoff seeding, or you're playing for home court advantage. Those things right there cannot happen. But other than that, great job, Jordan Walsh. And you're somebody, let's say that, hey, you're saying to the coaches, hey, you're ready to play major NBA minutes off the bench and not mop up. Next player I want to talk about is Baylor Sharman. He was a first-round draft pick for the Celtics last season. Out of Creighton, great shooter. That was the rep on him. Had some wee moments last year with some flashy passes. Made some nice threes last year. So going to this season, wanted to see what he improved on. Did not shoot well, but other aspects of his game, his passing, rebounding, stuff like that was okay. It was good. But I feel like with him, it's going to be shot selection and his court awareness. Sometimes some of the shots I think he take, to me, is like, hey, I can take this and make this. Because I think he feels like, hey, he has that mindset. I'm a shooter. I'm gonna light you up. But I think for him is you have to be aware of what type of shots you take, because if he's going to be a consistent NBA player, you have to know, you have to be able to get to your spots, but you also have to know when to shoot, when to pass. And I think that's what I think he's going to have to learn And I think another year in the G League with some spot duty minutes in the NBA will help him going for season 3. So Baylor Sherman has the potential, but those things I think he needs to work on, Celtics Nation. Now we'll talk about our first round pick this year from Real Madrid out of Spain, Hugo Gonzalez. Love the kid's game. He's active. I mean, that guy right there, he doesn't stop moving. But here's the thing, he's 19 years old. He's not ready to contribute in the NBA yet fully. I think another year in the G League with some spot duty minutes, I'm okay with that. And let's see where we get with him. But right now he's 19 years old, so I'm not gonna like really harp on this game too much because right now, I mean, he's played overseas, but he needs to get acclimated to the NBA game. So let's hold off on criticizing him and right now. So we'll talk about our second round pick, our first one in Amari Williams, big man, 7-footer, University of Kentucky. Definitely you can see the passing. But here's the thing with his game that I saw was his motor. You can work on that. I felt like a couple times in the Lakers game, and then the game against Miami, where he would catch the ball in the paint or get a rebound, he would go back up, and he got stuff to the front of the rim. I think he needs to get tough, and also nothing to is like even he said it after the I think it was either the Lakers or Hawks game. It might have been the Hawks game, where he said even he knows he needs to get better at setting picks, and his defense and rebounding. So that tells me right there that he's aware of what he needs to work on because in college, a lot of those things that you do there, your weaknesses don't get exposed. So I'm happy that Mario Williams is aware of what he needs to work on. And just like I said for Hugo Gonzalez, Mario Williams, I'm not going to let's say expect much from you this year. This young man just stay in the G League, and if you get some NBA minutes, I'm fine with that. But you need to eat that peanut butter and jelly, get you some of that Waffle House, maybe some clam chowder up there in the New England area. But those things I think you need to work on. In addition to, let's say, your ball handling, maybe get you like a 12 to 15-foot jumper. But I think those things you need to work on, again, is your toughness around the basket because, again, you need to get bigger and stronger. Next part I'm going to go into is this gentleman was drafted in the second round as well. He was the second pick this year for the Celtics in the second round. Near the end of the draft is Max Shulga. Forgot what school he went to, but he was listed as a shooter coming out of college. So he didn't shoot well, but I will give the coaches credit and I will give Shulga credit. So this all goes back to the coaches. So with Max Shulga, he came in, so he played point guard. The guy did a great job. I never felt like when he had the ball in his hands, the offense got stuck or got bogged down or that the ball should have went somewhere, but it went somewhere else. And so I got to give the coaches credit because a lot of times when young players, when you watch the Summer League games, you see guys making passes. You see two guys over here. You're like, well, dude, why did you make the pass over there? But you got a teammate over here. And I think what it is, you see a lot of times, like, and it's all players, but especially with the guards too, is they're trying to make the fancy pass that they think is going to impress the coaches. Is no, you got to make the simple and smart read, and that's the biggest thing I think with young players if you're going to play point guard in the NBA. So college, yeah, you can make that stuff because again, maybe the players at the college level can't. The athleticism and the awareness is not the same. So I got to give Max Shulga credit. He's steady Eddie. I'm okay with him getting another year in the G League just to work on his game and see what we're going to have with him in year 2. So great job to him. Great job to the coaches. I want to talk about Kenny Lofton Jr. I like this game. 2 years ago, he played in the NBA with Memphis. He dropped 43 points against the Thunder. But here's a knock on his game. It's his weight. And then a lot of times he was playing selfish basketball. And that's a big thing where a lot of young players don't realize is that when you come from college, and unless you're a first round draft pick, like maybe the top 10, and you're improving, you have to be able to play a role in the NBA because everybody that gets drafted in the NBA or undrafted or that did not get drafted, you're not going to be more than likely you're not going to be the man. So coaches want to know, can you accept a lesser role, and can you play that role, and can you impact the game outside of everything else? And that's the toughest, I think, adjustment for a lot of young players. So a lot of fans, I get it's the pressure, but a lot of these casual and fringe fans, they get caught up in the scoring. But here's the thing: that type of mentality is not going to keep you in the NBA. So you have to be able to show these coaches you can play within a team system. So that's why I'm saying, like, when you see these players, let's say, trying to make flashy passes and stuff like that, coaches don't want to see that because that stuff is what's going to lose games. You have to be able to protect the basketball, limit the turnovers, run your offense and stuff like that, and get the ball to your scorers. And then you also have to know when to score. and give the game what it needs to win games. So that's something right there. So I think with Kenny Lofton, that first game he played like real selfish, and somebody must have said something to him after that game, because after that he played great. He has an NBA skill set. Great touch around the basket. He can. I love the way he handled the ball, because to me he was like the second best ball handler on the team. So even when he ran the offense, I never felt like the ball got stuck after that first game with him. And he would shoot the three, so he has an NBA skill set. Will he get a G League contract with the Celtics? Maybe, maybe not. But I would probably say maybe not. But he might have to go overseas. But I hope he uses this as motivation to continue his basketball journey. And if it doesn't end up in the NBA, I think he can have a great career overseas. So now we'll talk about my pet favorite, and his name is Miles Norris, University of Oregon, 6'11". I think he's about 24, 25 years of age. He got picked up last year after the Celtics waived Watson, who played at Gonzaga. He was a second-round pick. I guess the Celtics didn't see much in his development as a player, so they picked up Miles Norris. And when he came in last year and got some spot minutes with the Celtics, man, he looked good. Now you can see the potential in his game. The guy can shoot. Needs to work on his defensive course, but he's one of those guys I feel like with more seasoning in the G League this year, I feel like he should get a two-way contract, or even let's say just a G League contract with Maine. I think he's somebody that can end up becoming a major piece off the Celtics bench, where let's say if you do trap our star players and the ball swings over to him, I think he can make the defense pay. And so that's what I liked about his game, and that's what I see for him. So anyway, Celtics Nation, so this is what I see going forward as we get ready to go into this season for training camp in the season. Please do not, I hope people don't get too stressed out. And I know there will be games like the Celtics will lose that they probably should have won. And, that's going to be tough, because we for the last, let's say, almost a decade, we're used to winning, making deep playoff runs. So for me, I'm looking as this season is the players that we drafted. Only maybe one player might see major minutes off the bench, and that might be Jordan Walsh. All the other players that are drafted, they need time to see. They need time to grow. They're not ready to contribute. They're not ready to grind. And that's the biggest thing that I see going into this season. Because right now, center position is too many question marks with that. I'm not too confident with Neemias Queta and Garza and Tillman as your center rotation. I mean, I love Neemias Queta. I love the fact how the Celtics developed him, the same way they did with Luke Cornett, the same way they did with Sam Hauser. But I think this is going to be a season where I think Boston, if they become a 6th seed, that's because players made a huge leap. Whether it's a Peyton Pritchard, whether it's a Jaylen Brown, whether it's a Derek White. We don't know what's going to happen with Anthony Simons, if he's going to be here or not, or George Niang. We just don't know. But I think the season where we're going to have to be patient, and wins and losses are not the objective. So I think right now the thing that we have to look forward to, Celtics, is just seeing how these younger players develop, because now Brad Stevens' goal is to get this team back to what they were, let's say back in 2024, which is a championship caliber team. They will get there, trust me. And I trust the process. I trust Brad Stevens. He's not made a bad acquisition where you can say, hey, this player is overrated, it's not earning his money, or they got this player through trade or through free agency or whatever it may be, and it didn't work out. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on the Celtics Summer League. Let me know what you think. Yeah, please hit that like button. Please comment and subscribe. And always, Celtic Nation, say it loud, say it proud. As I always say, Boston Celtic pride, BCP. I'm the Real Daryl. I'm out. Peace.